upright? Is it righteous? A righteous life? Is it upright before God? Is it loving your neighbor? Like, what is the fruit that is coming?
It's more intangible than it's tangible. Like the fruit of the Spirit. I love when I first discovered what it was saying about the fruit. I was reading it, and it was singular, not plural. When you understand the fruit of the Spirit is one, that you can't be patient or long-suffering if you're not a loving person. You can't be gentle if you're not a person of joy. When you're always mad and upset and you're full of anxiety, you can't be gentle with people. It's all connected. The good thing about fruit is that I can always see if I have it. Because when you take the time to say, you know what, am I more loving than I was a year ago? Because what's beautiful about God, He always brings things in your life to test so that you can see, where am I at?
Right.
That's why we do like that. I tell people every time I say this, be very careful what you pray for. God, I want to be more patient. God, help me with my patience. And you're like, why did He fire this coworker yet? Why did He put her cubicle right here? And God's like, that's your answer prayer. Patience cannot be developed if patience is never tested. Love cannot be developed. That's why God put the tree in the middle of the garden. Because love cannot be proven if there's nothing to test that love. Right. That's why we have trees in the midst of our lives every day that's going to test our love for Him. Will we fall sometimes? Yes. But there's something that's going to tug us right back there. So the real fruit that's in this text is bearing fruit that flourishes and that feeds. What I mean by that? Fruit is meant to feed. Feeding for what? Feeding for energy. Feeding for sustainability. That when I eat fruit, I'm getting energy. The fruit that bears off my life when people are watching it, observing it, has the chance of feeding them the right perspective on love. So that when you're going through a tough experience, because everybody's watching. Yeah. That's why God says, suffer well, because people are watching how you suffer. That's why if you can suffer with gladness, joy, people going to look on that like, whoa, that would have broke me. Why is it not breaking you? Because I got the unbreakable in me. So they're feeding off of you because they're like, that's why I used to be so concerned. Like, why does it? Sometimes being a preacher, if I could be honest, it's tough, man, because you get pulled on everywhere. Yep. Your food gets cold first. When I go on these trips and they bring me out to eat, they give me a good meal. Good. Sometimes I get filet mignon. I had my filet mignon the first time because it was good, the sweet potato fries and the plate beyond decorated. And then they be like, so tell me about how your ministry got started. Before I even get one fork in my filet mignon, I got to tell them what thus said the Lord about how this thing got started. But we have to understand that people haven't been fed from good fruit. People have been eating genetically modified fruit for so long that when they taste a real apple that don't got no chemicals in it, oh, they're going to be like, oh, not going to go the next morning. You want somebody to ride with you? Let's play ball, bruh. Let's go do it. You want to eat today? Because they know for a fact what the hope that's in you. I got to have that. That's why I tell people when God puts you in a situation, just do your work. He always repaid. There'd be times I'd be up to 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. It was times, I stopped that long ago. But it was times where I was up late. And there'd be some times when God waking me up at 3 in the morning, always. I'm like, God, why 3? Because that's the darkest time of the night. Sometimes He has you up at 3 as a watchman, as to pray. He said, I need you to wake up to pray because it's the darkest hour of the night. That's other spiritual warfare kind of stuff. But either way, you wake up and you got to be at work at 8, but you feel energized. When you do the Lord's work, He always repays. Not every 2 weeks, but He always repays. That's the fruit. So when people see you bearing it, they're going to be like, man, what you mean you ain't slept with nobody in how long? Yeah, girl, I ain't slept with nobody since 2004. They're going to be like, how did you do it? Do you got time? Let me tell you about a person that helps me do this every day. But so many of us are so entangled in sins and nobody knows about God's saving work. Because the Christians and the saint, the sinner and the saint are blurred, merged. We don't see no difference or no distinction. But when you trust God and you bear fruit, people will see the distinction and they'll be at the bottom of your tree all the time, hoping to get fed, and you do your job and let God do his job, and it works. Good question. Yes.
I definitely think that, when you say that people are watching you, because you got to understand you represent.
Yeah, ambassador.
You're an ambassador of Christ. Right. So even on your job, simple things as getting to work on time.
People watching that.
People are watching everything that you do. So, like you said, right now we're integrated sinners with Christians. You don't know the difference. But when you stand out, then that's when people approach you and say, hey, can I talk to you? Can you pray with me about something? Because that's what people are searching for today.
Yeah, they are.
They are looking for something different, not the norm.
That's why I'm telling people right now, the way churches have been operating now, it's about to be extinct. People are going to find out this ain't feeding me.
Yes.
Concerts, short sermons, all this stuff, hype, bringing this person in, ain't going to last long. And when World War III is this close, and when stuff start happening, and food shortages begin to happen, and all hell breaking loose, and you don't got enough faith to ask for ravens to come feed you, or we'll see who's going to be flocking who. That's why God told me, he said, son, stay true. Do not look at the numbers, because when I shake this planet, people are going to be looking for my preachers, my vessels, who's preaching the unchanging word, because that's what's going to sustain us. Oh, I used to be so intrigued about how they grow these things. I used to be wondering what gimmicks. God's like, no. When hell breaks loose, they're going to come to where my voice is,
yes.
And they will crawl. Go to Asia. Go to these countries where they got underground church. Them people are risking their lives to hear the gospel. Over here, where God is a lot, people take him for granted.
Yep.
Where God is scarce, they search for him like he's everything. When you got good water, you let the water drip. Oh, who didn't turn the faucet off? We waste water, we waste food. It's coming. It's coming on these American shores, and we're going to see who's going to last. That's why I'm telling you guys, maybe God is warning us now, search yourselves now. Because who are you going to call when things really start shaking themselves? Because it's coming. The Bible tells us it's one of the signs of the times are here. It's amongst us right now. Do we not know that them boys are playing with them boys in Syria? At any given moment, something goes off. We got to be strengthened in our faith. So when people are running around, they're like, why are you looking all healthy? Why you ain't losing no weight? What you eating? Why your lights on? Who feeds you? Because I said, God, look, you told me not to test you. But I'm telling you right now, the same way you fed Elijah, wait till them bombs are. I'm going to come on my front porch and be like, I'm going to wait until the ravens come, because God, I know you my provider. Because just because hell breaks loose doesn't mean the kingdom can't still be advanced. That's when the harvest is going to be the most ripe. We got to be strong to go in the trenches and be like, look, we can still, let's go to we're going to have a Bible study in my basement. We got to keep pushing. So good. Anything else? We got 5 minutes to get you guys out of here. Anything you want to add? Any questions? Next week we're going to be talking about the hardened heart and why people's hearts are hard and things that try to harden a believer's heart. Just because you good ground now, just because you got saved, doesn't mean the enemy ain't going to try to find a way to harden. So we're going to find ways to keep our hearts, a heart of flesh and not a heart of stone. But any other questions? We can get you guys out of here.